Hi everyone, it's David from Doctors of Running, and today we're doing an on-the-run review of the ASICS Metaspeed Ray. Now this is supposed to be the top shelf racing option for the company. We'll be retailing at $300, and the midsole is an ATP based midsole that is brand new for the company called Flight Foam Leap. This shoe is pretty wild as far as specifications go. So you're looking at World Athletics legal 39.5 millimeters of stack in the heel, 34.5 millimeters of stack in the forefoot for a 5 millimeter drop platform. And this thing comes in at 129 grams and or 4.5 ounces. So this thing's as light as most track spikes. So pretty crazy for what you got on your foot. And so I'm a few miles in now. Done a couple of pickups. This is now my third effort in the shoe. And I feel like I've got enough fast efforts on it to review it and talk about it accurately, but I want to talk about Flight Foam Leap first. So the midsole is very, very soft and compliant, but the thing has so much rebound. And this is one of those few shoes where once you put into it, you really spring off the other side of it. The one drawback, again, very soft, very compliant. The shoe can run a little bit squirrely, and it will certainly cater to those who have neutral mechanics. So if you have stability needs, probably not the shoe for you. But sorry about that, there's a little bit of an awkward crossing with the bike. If you have any stability needs, this shoe might not be the one for you, but the shoe runs more stable than you would probably think it would. The rocker's done very well, and it's very noticeable in the heel. There's a good toe spring in the forefoot. There is a carbon plate. It's a 3/4 length plate. There's a touch more flexibility in this shoe than other super shoes, but I actually like it. I think the shoe really comes alive once you pick up the pace. Now, I'm kind of just jogging along right now. It works, but I don't know. There's better shoes out there for running easy. So if you're just like jogging a marathon, don't know if this is the shoe, but the shoe really comes alive once you start picking up the pace, and some of that instability starts to go away. And I think some of that is just the loading rate. You're hitting the ground harder, quicker, and I think the foam really likes to compress and rebound. And so that decrease in contact time and just increased rate of force, I think really just helps with the nature of the shoe, and it begins to feel a little bit more stable. So I'll be doing a pickup here in a second once I cross the street over there, and we'll get you some thoughts. Now this I'm gonna do more right on marathon pace, a little more under control. I know the shoe can fly at faster paces, so I want to give you guys a review when it's a controlled up-tempo effort, and not necessarily 5 to 10K. All right, I've gotten to a good section to pick up the pace, so we're gonna do a little watch split here, and we're off. Let's do it. So I'm gonna be shooting for about 540-ish mile pace here. My marathon PR is faster than that, but I'm just not in that kind of shape right now. So I want to make sure that what I'm reporting is not inaccurate. So far it feels good. That heel's noticeable, very rounded, plenty of cushion underfoot, and the transition through the midfoot's pretty quick. A lot quicker than when you're going slower. The forefoot feels lively. Again, touch of flexibility in the forefoot, but it is still carbon plated. Still plenty of stiffness to honor the rocker geometry. Do a little pace check. Going a lot faster than it should be. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully I can speak in about a minute, but going 525 mile pace right now. But this shoe feels very lively once you get going. And also traction on it feels pretty good. Everything about this shoe likes to be compressed. Like when you load the shoe quicker, you can actually feel the outsole rubber kind of gripping the ground a little bit on the forefoot, and it makes that contact just a little bit more tacky. It feels good. Now, normally I'd cross the road coming up here, but I want to take a turn at speed and see how this shoe feels. Now, the foam's a little bit squirrely normally. Now that we're going quicker, I want to see how it goes but plenty of cushion underfoot. No reason, if your mechanics align with this shoe, that it can't go marathon. But I think for most people, probably gonna be landing 10K, half marathon probably too. But make a turn, 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 turn. Woo. Okay, that actually held up pretty well. Okay, another time. So, pace standing up, but it feels good. See, I'll hit a U-turn here if traffic allows. We'll get back up there. Woo. Okay, there we go. Oh, could feel that in my ankle a little bit. So, soft foam probably not the best for really sharp turns, but for that 90 degree, it was totally fine. The upper fit, pretty normal for a racing shoe. It's like streamlined to the heel and midfoot. A lot of forefoot volume, so it definitely got space for my toes and for forefoot splay. So, hey, always love seeing people. So, it honestly feels really good. I just think the instability it comes natural. I feel like they did a pretty good job for it to have, but I think for me, this is a 10K shoe. Even for half marathon, I don't know if my mechanics can hang, but if you have neutral mechanics and you can just float into that forefoot, it's a really lively shoe, very light underfoot, kind of feels like a track spike in nature with how it's tuned out and the weight profile. I mean, this thing could be a real killer if it works for you, but I do think the nature of flight from leap probably won't be for everyone, but that's okay. You know, that's why they make different shoes. And if you look at the other Metaspeed lineup, I'm definitely not on 520s now. Yeah, now we're closer to 540s. But the ASICS Metaspeed Edge Tokyo has the platform turbo on the heel, more structured there, bouncing in the forefoot, where the Sky has a little bit of a flatter plate and it's kind of flip-flopped, really bouncy, lively heel, a little bit snapper forefoot. So that's what the other models are. But yeah, that's our review on the run of the ASICS Metaspeed Ray. So I just wanted to give some closing thoughts on the ASICS Metaspeed Ray. Just finished that running segment. Very fun shoe. I mean, one of the more fun super shoes on the market. Incredibly light, incredibly bouncy, very soft, but you gotta like that because it does come with a little bit of instability, especially with sharp turns. But once you start picking up the pace, it actually isn't, it's not too bad. It just runs very neutral. Like, anyone who has any stability needs probably shouldn't run in it, but if you have neutral mechanics, you probably don't have that much to worry about unless you have a lot of sharp turns. Uphills, downhills, it actually rolled pretty well. The only thing on downhill, you do notice that compliant foam a little bit more, where you're kind of smashing into it a little bit, but it didn't feel, again, not unstable. It almost wants to be smashed. So I actually really enjoying the ride on that. I'll show you guys the medial heel here because you can see how soft it is. Now I have 3 efforts on this. If I balance on one foot, you can see how it's kind of squirrely. And there's a lot of compression on that midsole there. So the shoe really likes to compress and rebound. It's not going to be for everyone, but it's a very fun shoe. And I think definitely one of the top contenders on the super shoe market if it works for you. I think for me personally, I'm still going to lean Metaspeed Edge Tokyo out of the bunch. But the Metaspeed Ray is very fun. And I mean, there's plenty of cushioning underfoot and it's plenty responsive. I mean, you could do pretty much anything, you know, road mile up to the marathon. I don't see why you can't. But it's just got to work for you. I think for most people, if they're using this shoe, probably going to see it as 10K and down with the option of half marathon. I think you could probably get away with it, but I think I still would choose just a little bit more structure on the shoe for the half marathon. But 10K, I think this is definitely one of the top shoes that I would think in my head if I was to race 10K tomorrow. So yeah, really liking the ASICS Metaspeed Ray. That's our on the run review.